back from Andalusia after the Reconquista. I don't know when they say they came back. It's just another area. I just numbered this so you guys will, those of you who have gone to Morocco will remember those three elements. Actually, on this section here has very, very nice cafe that I want you to remember. It's called Septième Art Cafe or Seventh Art Cafe, and it's my favorite one. Go there and find it. Sorry? Septième Art. So, where the blue, red, the two dots are, this is where the center is, Center for Cross-Cultural Learning is. And that's where, anyways, where you place that is hosting your program is going to be. If this is the center, you think of Rabat as I just want to give you a couple examples of how people move actually in this space. I was part of an NGO or an organization where a lot of times we meet in the afternoon to schedule some of the cultural activities and all of that. But we meet, we don't meet in the organization, in the building of the organization, which is we meet in a cafe. So a lot of people who actually are here, they work in this side. All of them are going to come to this place here in the afternoon. So there are 10 or 12, depending on the number, on who is in town and who is not. So that's where people meet in that cafe, and it's really very loud. And then what they're talking about, we're talking about, this is how our tabloid is going to look like next week. This is how the newspaper is going to look like next week. So I am collecting, articles from people, and then somebody is bringing it tomorrow or the day after, and then we're dividing people who are going to be typing them on a computer because we want the newspaper to come next week. So the cafe space can be an office, it can be a place for a newspaper, it can be meetings. There are people who sit in cafes all day. And then you think, what are they doing? They actually are doing business. Because they can be landlords, they are probably people who sell, things. So all they use is a cell phone. And that's how they do all their interactions and their businesses. But they're not going to rent a space for an office. That's a lot of money. They're going to sit in a cafe and then enjoy their mint tea or espresso and then do their business. So after a while, Moroccans, or a lot of Moroccans are going to go to a lot of places. Saleh, which is this area here, this is a river, Bourg-Greg River, and this is the Atlantic Ocean. And Saleh usually gets to be called the dorms of Rabat, because a lot of people are going to go from here, use buses to go there, and then also some cars and stuff. There are also some, little rowboats where you can pay probably 50 to 60 cents to actually cross to the other side. So you come in a boat as 8 or 9 people, and you're helped to cross to the other side. So first of all, you work. Well, you come in the morning, you work, you go out for lunch, you come back, and then after work you go to a cafe. You have to 1 hour or 2 hours in a cafe, and then afterwards you go back home. And then you have dinner at 9 or at 10, and then you do the same the next day. So, thinking about all these spaces in general, there is definitely a private space, which is the house, your room, your neighbor's house, your aunt's house. All these, these inside homes are, the private areas. There's collective space, which is in here, which is a transitional kind of space, and then the public exterior. So for the collective space, and it's very different than the public exterior space actually, because here all these things, when we think about hammam or the Turkish bath, Faran, which is Faran is the oven, the public oven. You take your bread and you give some money to the oven guy to bake your bread, and then when it's done, you go and bring it back. Hanut with an N, sorry I misspelled it, because usually it's written in Arabic. I was trying to transcribe it into English. Is the shop or the grocery store. Usually grocery stores are not very far from, I mean, it's just around the corner of your house. But here you have plazas, public exterior, you have like marketplace plazas, which is actually outside the Homa circle. It's outside, and that's more public. If just to give you an example, I mean, now, for example, I can go out from my house and not worry about what about anything. I would just go to this area and come back. Usually, if a lot of my women friends told me that, well, I don't have to worry about makeup if I have to go here. But if I have to make the other side to the more public exterior, I have to. So concerning this area, which is considered the transitional area, it is outside, immediately outside the house, or sometimes it's even the little derb or the little zankat or street. That's still a transitional space, because a lot of people can go there and then you can sit there. I've seen a lot of women sitting outside their house. In my village, for instance, women would just go outside and then they're sitting in that area for really a long time. So that's why it gets to be called a transitional area. It takes a lot of negotiation actually to do it. Now the transitional area, as I am noticing, this transitional area is taking over this area as well. As more and more or less gendered, the less space becomes gendered, the more the transitional area becomes wider.